But yeah, the reason you mentioned the reason why we're here is because of the Songs of White Lion Volume 2 that's coming out on August 23rd. Which you did one, I think it was 2023. You did Volume 1, which was kind of the bigger hits of White Lion, and these are kind of deeper cuts. But I want to kind of hear your strategy behind these songs and why you're reimagining them and re-recording them. I've heard you say in other interviews that you can't even listen to those songs from the 80s anymore. So that's kind of the formula behind re-recording them. But I'd love to hear it in your own words. And does technology have kind of a role in this, like wanting to update the technology because there's better tools available today?
Man, but you're saying it so good. I cannot top that. No, I mean, again, I truly appreciate that because I mean, doing interviews and stuff like that, it's great when you gel, and it's not a matter of if that you say all the things that I want to hear, but it's just like you are observing what is exactly what the point about all of this is, and that is in reality, if you were to go back and throw that pitch again, would you throw the same curveball?
That's the question, right?
And exactly. So now, and you can look at it in two ways. Obviously, I'm 35 years older than when I sang "Wait" in the studio first time.
Mm.
I was young, energetic, full of things, and really didn't know where the hell I was going. It was just we were just on a fast-paced train. Everybody was, we were going to our own, Woodstock or whatever. Everybody was just, nobody knew, and everything felt right. When I look back through the years and stuff like that, there is one point which, especially as a singer, I know that some of my heroes seems like to have gotten it right the first time, or of course I don't know the background, but the more I sing a song, the more I discover what I can do with the song. I'm not necessarily a natural. There are people that just can grab the microphone and you just get goosebumps and things like that. I establish the melody and stuff like that. But sometimes with learning and going around and things like that, I'm going to say this, in a very serious way. I make love in a different way now than I did when I was 18.
Absolutely, of course. Yeah.
It's simply just the stuff like that. I mean, experience is experience in a different way, and also experience as a singer, and getting the chance to sing these songs where I feel now that the voice fits the face, fits the time, fits everything, that I feel it's very legit what I'm presenting with it in so and so. And I of course I'm not gonna rain on those people that these songs meant the world to when they were 16, 17 and they
Mm-hmm.
went to the concert. I felt the same, but now getting a chance to just saying, you know what? I always meant for Mona Lisa to have blonde hair.
Right. And so it's all about delivery. You just want to deliver them in a different way because of who you are now rather than who you were then. And those
Yeah,
songs
my
are
whole
still
thing
available
about
to us that like the versions from then. So it's like having your cake and eating it too, right?
I have a sort of love-hate relationship with how hard rock of the 80s sort of has gotten this carte blanche age-wise that there's no limit. So whatever you can do to sort of fool the people, because there are maybe a handful out of 1,000 rock singers that can come close to what they were 40 years ago.
Absolutely.
There are no ball players, there are no gymnasts, there's no hockey players, there's no
Nope.
race car drivers that can return to who they were when they're 50s. Why does rock and roll singers have to be or sound like the same 40 years later? It is impossible.
I agree. Yeah.
And then there are the bands that go searching for somebody that sounds like their singer. and looks younger, and then they kick the singer out, and now they have a new guy, and they get extended life.
Yeah. Very good points. So I wanted to make a couple of more points with you before we have to get off of here. The first thing is, again, we talked about this being your 50th year in the music business. I want to hear you talk about how you continue to have so much passion for what you do, because it's so apparent to me just talking to you for less than an hour how passionate you still are about this. How do you keep that after so much time in the business?
I think without really have ever given it a thought, that I have kept my 2 feet on the ground. To maybe explain it in a different way, when I went out in 2013 and toured the world just with an acoustic guitar and a suitcase full with CDs and T-shirts, I said to myself, most venues you will have to get through the front bar, through the audience, and up on stage. And after the show, back the other way. There's no back entrance. You're not going to come in and then suddenly appear on stage, which means that you're already in the moment. And there are people that would not be able to do that. But I thought about, hey, you're raised in the streets of Copenhagen in a pretty rough working man's neighborhood and stuff like that. You're just you. You've always been you. You hung out with the roadies, on the White Lion tours when we toured with Kiss. I was driving with some of the truck drivers to see the American highway. When you are that way naturally, then that passion you're talking about is just part of the daily life. That I love that life that surrounds rock and roll, and that's not the backstage party, and that's not the limousine on the private airplanes, which I've never had. Hey, I've had some great backstage parties, but to me, it was always, what is it that when everything is gone is still there, and that is the song and the artist. And if you can be there with an acoustic guitar, and you can play Little Fighter, or you can play When the Children Cry, and you see people in the audience and after the show telling you, you know what, I was sitting in the hospital when my 3-year-old son passed away from cancer. We played Little Fighter to him every night. Thank you for playing that song. Then everything makes sense.
And I thanked you for the song earlier. I thank you for the songs, all of them. Your solo, your Freak of Nature, your White Lion, your Mabel, your Danish Lions, everything. Thank you for the songs, Mike. Just an incredible career. August 23rd, Songs of White Lion Volume 2 will be hitting the shelves, and you are going to be going on tour, I assume, to support the record. When does the tour start, and where are you? I know you can't tell us everywhere you're going, but everybody needs to go to the website, which we'll put in the description below, so you can get your Mike Tramp in.
Most people probably go to Mike Tramp official Facebook. That's where it's all is,
Okay.
We actually start in Las Vegas on the 23rd of August, the day the album comes out, and we finish the October 24th, 2 months later, at the Whiskey in Hollywood, and everywhere in between, almost
everywhere.
Almost.
So, last question: what other projects do you have going on? Because I know you're always working on something. Let us know. Tell us what you're doing now, other than the tour and all this other stuff.
Well, I mean, we'll be touring a lot, especially in Europe and also Australia and Asia next year with the White Lion songs. But there is a new English soul album on the way. I mean, it's basically it's already written and demoed and stuff like that. To me, it's really just a matter of when I finish it and when I look for a release, so and so. God knows if it would grant me the opportunity to go out with my dream band, meaning the sound of the album, not a compromised version, and just go out and get a chance for once in my life to perform my solo albums the way they sound on the albums.
So, guys, it's Mike Tramp Official on Facebook. We're going to put that in the description below. We'll also get you guys a link not only to the website, but we'll also make sure that there's a link directly to the record when it comes out as well in the description. You guys make sure you're purchasing the music, stream the music, do it, buy it wherever you get your music. Mike, thank you so much for your time today, my friend.
It has been my pleasure. I truly enjoyed it. I hope we can get to do it again, and then we'll just, we'll really go deep into the solo albums.
Man, I would love to do that. Just let me know. I have all the time in the world for you, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.